Good morning, everybody. It is 7:31. Got a little minute late here. Got a little late start on my Monday. Hope you all have had a good weekend. Hope you all had a good week last week. We have a lot of activity going on between, last Monday through Friday. Last week was pretty wild. If we remember the tariff talk in the U.S. on steel and aluminum imports really freaked out a lot of the markets. Really put a damper on on the looking at the current trade environment. So let's take a look at where we're at right now. And let me pull up. All right. Okay, so we wanted to go. We had really basically three trades Friday that were possibilities. A long on UJ at 105, at 105.4. A long on the dollar Swiss at 93.62, and a euro short at 123.02. And looking at what happened on Friday. Let's kind of peel off these here. So our euro trade on Friday, we moved up here. And we went all the way up to the 123.61 zone. And then we kind of just halted there. We kind of halted above this value area here. And then, last night when market opened, we did, we did gap up, sold off, and we continued to kind of sell off. And we've been finding a slight amount of resistance at this arc. We came down, found support at the angle, traded up back into this arc, found resistance, found more support at the angle again, and now we're trading up against that arc. We may hard decision here. Not a lot of great, perfect, highly probable signals going on right now. We're going to probably want to wait till either the end of our discussion this morning to figure out our trade opportunities, but we'll see. UJ. Okay, oh, sorry, the euro, we wanted to go short at 105.4. That would have been a loss. I mean, I took it. I'm still in it, but I was down in a drawdown there. And then UJ, we wanted to go long at 105.4. I'm sorry, gosh, when I say what was that? 123.02 was where we wanted to go short. And really, I think that we're looking, if we're gonna want to go short, we're gonna want to look at down in this kind of an area. We'll see though. UJ, we want to go long at 105.4, which has worked out. We're about 20 some pips above that. We found support on this angle here. This area was just blown through. We did not get a lot of support here at all. It just kind of fell through, and then we just kind of ended up here. Didn't find caught a little bit of a bid on the on this fib line, but otherwise just kind of sold off, and we've been kind of ping-ponging through. We want to look to get back in long above here. So we're really looking above here, but I want to take a look again, and I'm very happy about these levels on UJ actually, because if we look at the weekly, we are very oversold on the weekly. Okay, we are still oversold on the weekly. And we are actually looking at, do I need that trend line anymore. I'm still looking at the long idea in here because last week I posted a long idea and we had a little movement down from there, about 200 pips down, but we've been finding some support around this region. And I'm still looking at this activity to play out. So getting in here is, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. Looking at it on the weekly, and I think we're in a supportive buying area. Composite index is really down there. I mean, that's one of the lowest levels in recent times. We haven't got, the last time we were at this level or lower was back on the 1st of 2016. So over 2 years ago. Doesn't seem that long ago, but it is. And this level has shown support responsive buying in the past. If we put our horizontal line here, we see supported buying, 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 supported buying. Just a lot of bouncing on these levels. Of even if we kind of go back, let's make sure. So at this level down here, did we get supported buying? Sure. We went from 94 all the way up to 101. That's a nice ride. Where else did we touch the bottom there? Over here, double bottom, cut a little bit of a bid, and then we had this beautiful divergence right here. Very nice. You know, you really don't notice divergences until after they're done, so this would be kind of a frustrating style of a trade. Moving on here, let's see, where else have we seen supportive buying here? Sure. Looking at the price, supportive buying here a little bit. Then we had this long, nasty downtrend, followed by a lot of divergence. And again, divergences, when you see three of them, when you see three troughs in bearish divergence, or bullish divergence like this, the third one's where you really want to enter long on. And so we did get a nice rise on that. But otherwise, you know, kind of touched in the area, was bought up, touched down in this area, it was bought up a little bit. Signal for a sell. Bought here, so we're really looking at a good, you know, as the week progresses. Could we get a double bottom down here? Yeah, I think we could. I think that'd be a nice scenario to get in. Be a really good scenario to get in. Okay. Coming back on the daily, you know, again, really oversold condition. Well, not extremely oversold, but oversold conditions on the hourly. We are looking at somewhat over, we're getting into some short-term selling bias here. Let's look at the 4 hour on UJ, catching a bit of a bid here. You know, I think going along around here with limited stop below the angle there. Now, target area would be up here first. Be kind of our first profit target area would be this resistance pivot area. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's kind of what we want to see. The dollar Swiss was the other trade we had. We wanted to go long at 93.62. Kind of been banking around in this area, but this is bullish to me that we're testing this last kind of Gann line here. So looking to go above this line at some point. Yeah. if we can get back above it, it's a long. So we're going to say 1939, or sorry, 1939. Check out the euro again. Finding a little bit of difficulty getting back above this arc. You know, and we're looking at this angle as well. You know, find if it's been acting as support. You know, we'll want to see how price reacts to this, but don't really have a trade in on the euro pound yet, or euro dollar. Aussie dollar. Kind of flattening out, but it has found support on this angle on that arc. New Zealand dollar, similar scenario. Very, you know, we're still looking at a lot of down pressure in this pair. Pound dollar. Now we did find resistance up here, so that is a good sign. Back to the euro pound. Yeah, we'll have to see what we get here. US dollar, Canadian dollar, man, that is a mover. Look at that guy go. That idea is playing out very nicely. Ooh, man, that is a big move. I've been liking that. That's been my bread and butter winner lately. Published ideas. I know we had this is our trade idea, and we're continuing to play that out. Good mover. Now let's see. Looking at the daily on the euro pound. I want to take a look at this because we traded down all the way to 88.98 and we got bought up. But look at this top here. This is a interesting top. That's turning out to look like what's called a tweezer top. All right. So notice that on the, we had closed up around the high over here on Friday. It was hit, and then when markets opened up again last night or yesterday at 4 o'clock Central, we kind of traded back up into that range, but now we've just kind of sold off. So we have a double top, lots of selling up at that area. And, we're looking at that kind of signal to happen again. We may have more selling here. May have a kind of a head and shoulder situation starting. So that short on euro 89.12, the euro pound 89.12 is good and still active. Pound dollar. Looking kind of like a flag there. I mean, we've got some bearish divergence there. It's actually not a bad trade. And our stop, our risk is limited above this arc. Strong trend, strong mover on UCAD. Let's come back to these. Let's take a peek at our cryptos. Bitcoin over the weekend has really just only gone in one direction. It's just kind of gone up. We kind of had a lot of flat trading between Saturday night from 11, 12, and 1 into Sunday, just flat trading, which is normal. Then we had a bit of a drop there, and we've just kind of bought it back up, but we're currently facing resistance at the 11,500 price area. We should continue to look for some difficulty to trade above that. We really need a breakout above 11,005 to get into these higher ranges. So be aware of that. Litecoin, strong sign that we're in the arc of not selling off. So we should see probably catching a bid shortly here above this 215 zone. And Ethereum has just been the most boring, boring traded major for a while. We have not traded outside of like a $20 range for a while. 2 weeks of just sitting in this zone and not finding a lot of activity anywhere. It is certainly the laggard. But again, the bias is to continue moving higher, to continue seeing these higher prices. That is the journey that all these cryptos are going to take, is higher and higher. Okay, let's see. Okay, gold. Let's check out our gold trade. Gold did catch a bid, but we're trending lower again. And what we're going to want to look for is how much support we find on this angle. And if we bust below that, we bust below this line. So, we're going to kind of take a trade number from last week or the week before. And we're looking at a short at around a 1,315.5. If we can get below there. The euro, again, showing some difficulty getting above that arc. Short at 1.0324 is appropriate, but there's also a long idea. Oops. Above this high here, but only when the oscillators are going to show it. So we're looking at a long above 123, around 123.56. UJ. Okay, UJ is catching a bit of a bid here. This might be a good, really still good long entries on this pair. Aussie dollar, that's looking to be a good short setup, but I'm not willing to touch it yet. New Zealand dollar, I'm comfortable with a short there. Yeah, this is a good level. We are elevated. Yep, New Zealand dollar short at that point. Limited risk above this previous high. If it doesn't hold here, it's really gonna want to test lower. So that's a good zone. Good zone. We're going to see how the regular equity markets in the U.S. feel about the tariff situation. It may be blown out of context, the tariffs on, and there's already some signs that Trump is willing to reverse those a bit if we get a more fair trade, free trade deal. So we'll see. Tariffs are stupid, guys. Doesn't matter what country you're from or what your politics are, free trade is important, and tariffs are stupid. A tariff on steel and aluminum in the United States makes no sense. I mean, it's not It's not an industry that is crazy important for us. Now, we should have some production of that because steel and aluminum, they're kind of they fall into a special category because those are considered materials required for defense. In the manufacture of weapons of defense. So that's important. And I mean, each nation should have some of its own steel making capability. I mean, you just can't. You could, but I mean, steel production in the U.S. used to be big, prior to the 80s. But we've, in the U.S. for the most part, we've transitioned away from that kind of market, and we're very service based. Sure, we have a ton of manufacturing. In fact, the small town I live in has one of the highest per capita blue collar workforce in the United States. I live in a small town in South Dakota, but we have a ton of manufacturing. We have Wilson Trailer. There's Applied Engineering. They do stuff for NASA. There's something with a V. I forget. They also do this kind of manufacturing. We have an archery bow construction area. We have Gales. They create a lot of heavy mining and earth moving equipment. Then we have Colberg Pioneer. They create like rock crushing machines. It's just that are transported all over the world. We just have a lot of massive industry in my small town, and they produce. Oh, we even have an aluminum manufacturer, Sapa. They finish aluminum in the factory. So we've got a ton of manufacturing in my small town, but nationwide it's not that big of a deal. It's important in a lot of states, but I'm getting too long on this topic. Long story short, tariffs are dumb. Okay. Quick, taking a look here. Gold, having a little bit of a sell there. Euro dollar, finding some resistance. Dollar yen, finding some urge to get above there. New Zealand dollar. Yeah, okay, we've got some good. I mean, this is kind of a fairly simple setup starting off in the morning. Not seeing a whole lot of supportive participation and going higher here, but that may happen on this pullback here. We'll see. Did find support at the pivot. We'll see how long that conviction lasts. Wow, look at that guy move. Aussie dollar yen. Look at these markets from our other chart's perspective. Well above there, faced resistance right up top there. Yeah, we'll see. Kind of getting in a flat range there in the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, similar. Okay, this is a little telling. Facing on the pound dollar, got some resistance going on here inside the cloud. And from one to go higher, so keep an eye on that. Euro pound bounced right, looking at the Ichimoku system, which this week actually we're gonna use mainly this as our trade entry and exit. So the euro pound on the hourly above the the 4 and the 8 cloud, above the 1 hour cloud, and we found support on that cloud. So we'll see what happens if we cross back above the baseline and above the cloud. Then we're going to want to re-enter long, but for the time being, might be a good short entry based on the longer time frames. US dollar, Canadian dollar. What do you want to say about that one? No trade here. Actually, if we were trading solely off the Ichimoku system, we would not be taking really probably any trades. UJ, we would not be looking to go long at all using this type of analysis. We would be looking at to re-enter short if we get closer to the cloud here. All right. Same with the euro. We're probably looking also to, be looking to re-enter short, because even though we're above the hour, but we found, look at where we're finding resistance is. We're finding resistance inside the 4 hour cloud. So here's where we would be looking at going short again. Gold, similar issue, between the 1 and the 4, but we didn't buy into the cloud here. We're below it, so we are looking at falling prices here. UJ, gosh, that is really down there. Dollar index catching a bid. It'll probably start as 5th. If we got a 1, 2, 3, violated, but found support around this 4 hour flag. So we're still looking at some higher moves that could work out. Monday, have some trades on the table here. We're probably going to have some more activity, and we'll probably be here longer on Tuesday because we have a lot of things to look at as we move on. And the Monday, this is going to kind of let us know what's going to happen. Everybody's digesting the tariff news, and everybody's digesting Italian elections. So lots of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Taking a quick peek at Bitcoin, really just a long bias still. There's no above the 8, the 4, and the 1 hour. It's very bullish, so we should look for that to continue. Key area is the 12,000 area. That's where we want to be heading. Litecoin, flat as flat can be, and Ethereum is extremely flat as well. All right, so yep, just keeping an eye out on these markets and these moves. Pay attention to when the dollar index is doing well. Try to find some correlative markets and inverse activity between our cryptocurrency markets and our currencies. It's kind of an interesting thing to watch. But yeah, we have some good setups for today and going into later this week. And we should have another great week. You guys have a wonderful Monday. Have a wonderful start to the week. And again, if I see something big changing, I'll throw it up here on the trade ideas in the portal, and we'll go from there. Good opportunities coming up in front of us here. All right, you guys have a great day, and we'll visit with you all tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.